And we are back. This is a little bit of a different video, nothing to do with video games. Well, not really, anyways. I picked up these books recently on Amazon and just wanted to talk about them. These are a couple of light novels. I actually bought this one a couple months ago. Novel one in the She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man series. I actually just recently noticed that on Crunchyroll, there's actually a series for this as well. I haven't watched it, but I'll have to get to that at some point. But anyways, a couple months ago, I purchased this. So this is the first novel, and I didn't really know anything about it at the time. It was just completely on a whim. In fact, it was because the book was on sale on Amazon. I think it was like $8. And a bit of context first. So I'm in Canada, and in Canada, light novels, if you were to get like a digital version, so on like an e-reader or something like that, every light novel is exactly $10. They never go on sale, or at least I've never seen them go on sale, and that's just the way it is. $10 per light novel. The physical copies of light novels are usually around $16 to $20. It really depends. Now, the physical copies, they actually do go on sale. So I'm always keeping an eye on Amazon and on Indigo chapters to see if these sort of books go on sale. I'm not a collector of light novels or even just physical books in general. One day I hope to have a nice bookshelf. I don't have one today, but one day I hope to have one, and I would like to put these on the bookshelf. But I'm not going to go out of my way to get physical copies of books. I'm perfectly okay with reading them on an e-reader. In fact, I would prefer to read them on an e-reader in most cases. But when they go on sale on Amazon or Chapters for cheaper than the digital versions, then I'll typically purchase these instead. So if I can get this for $9 or less, I will do that as opposed to getting the digital copy. So that's why I purchased this one a couple months ago, and I had no idea what it was about. I just saw the cover, it looked interesting, and figured give it a try. I read it probably about a month ago, about a month after I purchased it, and I don't know. I think on Goodreads, where I log most of these books, I think I gave it like 2 out of 5 stars. So I didn't like it that much. But anyway, so I bought two more of them. So that doesn't make any sense, right? So I didn't like it, but I bought two more. So the same thing happened on Amazon just recently. The novel 2 and novel 3 in the series went on sale for, I think it was like $7 or $8, and it's cheaper than the digital copies. And I mean, I was sort of interested in seeing where the story was going, so I figured why not. So I haven't read these two yet, novel 2 and novel 3, but I purchased them and I'm hoping to read them soon. But just wanted to quickly kind of show off what I got and why I got it. So the story, I'm not very good at summarizing stories, but I'll do my best here. So the story is about an individual who, in fact, it's kind of it's similar to like Sword Art Online and that kind of genre, like the literature RPG genre, where you have main character, a male main character who plays this game religiously, and then something happens and the individual gets stuck in the game. Very similar to Sword Art Online. The difference here being that the character gets stuck in the game. However, it's not a VR thing. Like it's his actual conscience is stuck in the game. It's not a VR thing. At least I don't think it was a VR thing. And the other kind of twist to the story is that he gets stuck in a young female body. So obviously you can imagine there's a bit of fan service in here, but it's pretty tame, which is good. But that's sort of the big twist, is that this character who used to be very famous in the video game world, he was considered the wise man, gets stuck in the game as a young female character. And obviously he can't really sell himself off as the wise man anymore, so he now considers himself the pupil. of the wise man, because this young female character that he looks like, it's appearance only. He still has all of the traits and skills and development that he had as the wise man. It's now just in this young female body. Now, he's not the only one that's been trapped in this video game world. There are other characters that he played with when he wasn't stuck in the world. They're also stuck in the world. So they're all kind of trying to figure out why this has happened, why are they stuck in this world, and etc., etc. So that's the story. Honestly, I didn't like it that much. It felt like an early book. So for this author here, which I don't even know if I'm going to attempt to say, Ryusen Hirotsugu. Ryusen Hirotsugu. So this seems like a very early attempt at writing a light novel for this author. But the other thing I wanted to mention is on the back of these light novels, it always has like a rating for the age, who the writing is appropriate for. So on here it says teen, so that's like 13 and up. And interestingly, so I have these Sword Art Online ones too, Phantom Bullet. And on the back of these ones, they also say 13 and up. But it's very interesting. So both of these, looking at the back of them, one says teen, one says 13 and up. Essentially, they are rated for the same age group. But the interesting thing is that these read completely different. This is much more appropriate for a younger audience, and I'm not talking about the actual content, that too, but I'm talking about the writing style and the actual experience of the writer. Like this, an adult reader could read this and be happy with what they are reading. Like it's for their experience level when it comes to reading. But this one, it reads for younger people. But it's interesting how the rating on the back, it still says 13 and up. I guess that's true for the content, but the actual, like the quality of the writing in something like this is much higher and better than something like this. And even speaking to the content of this is much more appropriate for an older audience. And I prefer reading something like this over reading something like this. So I was a bit taken back when I was reading this. I saw the rating on the back, teen and up. Okay, most of the Sword Art Online books are also teen and up. And the kind of imagery is similar in a sense, and the idea for the story is similar in a sense. However, completely different experience reading this to reading something like Sword Art Online. I definitely felt like I was reading something not appropriate for a late 20s, early 30s individual. But it didn't stop me from getting books 2 and 3 because they were on sale cheap enough, and I figured, let's see where the story is going. Same with books like this, like the Erased series. Just curious what this says on the back. So it also says teen on the back. This is a manga, but very different style of writing. And the style of writing in something like this, it feels like it's more appropriate for older audiences or kind of more experienced readers as opposed to something like this. So just wanted to share that and kind of my experience reading the books. So in number 1, as I said, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I didn't think it was that good. But I always notice with newer authors, and I'm not sure if this individual is a newer author. I'm just making the assumption based on what I read here. But you can really see the development of the author from books 1 to 2 to 3 and then so on and so forth. So I'm kind of curious to see if the author's writing has greatly improved from the first to the second and then from the second to the third. So I'm a bit excited for that. And of course, following the story. At some point, I'll have to watch the anime on Crunchyroll, but for now, I am just reading through the light novel. So I just wanted to open up these 2 as well and just take a look inside. I haven't looked at any of the imagery in it yet. So that is obviously the main character. His original name was Dan Bilf or something like that, but now he's going by a different name. I can't remember his female character's name. I'm wondering, so the other wise men who are stuck in the game world, I'm not sure, maybe some of these here are those wise men. I'm not sure. Doesn't seem to be as much imagery in the second book as there was in the first one. Some fighting scenes, that is always fun. See, there's the fan service sort of stuff. And I think there was another photo. It's like spell casting. This page is kind of more like a manga where it has the sections split to show development in the story. That's kind of neat. And that looks to be about it for number 2. And then number 3, I'm sure this is frowned upon, looking at the photos before reading the book, but I don't really follow any standards when it comes to this stuff. Especially if it's a book that I don't, care too much about. I'm not worried about spoiling any of the story. This one has even less imagery than the other. Still doing the sections here. More spell casting and attacking. I don't know if you can consider that fan service, but looks like 2 young ladies in bed. Of course, the main character is the one on the left. And there's your fan service in the third book as well. Of course, everything is hidden. And that looks to be about it. This isn't something I would normally share my opinions on. It was just, I picked up these books and I wanted to just share some opinions on the writing style and just how something like this compares to something like that or something like this, and how it reads completely different when you're reading it. And I thought that was kind of interesting. But as you can see here, my light novel collection is growing. I think this is really, I also have 3 books in the Devil one. The Devil is a part-timer. I think it's what it's called, something like that. So I have 3 in those. So those 3 and then these really make up my whole light novel collection. But it's slowly growing, and I think these will look really cool on a bookshelf eventually. So whenever they go on sale for a decent price, especially cheaper than the digital versions, I usually pick them up, regardless of whether or not I actually like them. The imagery is good enough. Cool, so that's that. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, and that'll be it for this video. The next video I make will probably be not focused on light novels or books. It'll be back to a video game of some sort. This was just sort of a one-off, but see you later.